Welcome to the PHP RSS MySQL series, video number 14. So we just got done with the results page, and I turned that into result text, and I put that online so that you can find that in the last video right there in the link. You just copy this from top to bottom and put it in a new file, call it result.php, and put that in your scripts folder. No, you don't put that in your scripts folder. You put that in the main portion of your site in the news folder, not inside the script folder. I take that back. Okay, the last thing we need to do is to make the detail page. And the detail page is the page where on the website, let's go back to the website here. Use results for plain. Okay, if you see all of these links over here, and now that we're in the search engine itself, these links as well, if you click on any of these links or these links over here, it will take you to a detail page, and you'll see up here in your browser it's detail PHP FID equals 398. That is story number 398 in the record number 398. So if you click on one of these, it'll take you to that record, which is in this case 399, and that says spy satellite. So if we go to USAF, this should change to USAF and show that story as well. So let's see how we accomplish that. Okay, first of all, this include once server stuff PHP. This is my own script, something that I made to track hits with. You don't need that because we're not going to get into that system right there in this series. So you've got your two includes, your scripts connect all PHP, your scripts function PHP, which we dealt with in the last video. Now, on here I have an if is set or if not is set. What that is it's going to give you a specific story number if the get FID is not present. Otherwise, this page is going to throw an error. It won't throw an error on your server without this part, but it will throw an error on your XAMPP server. So if somebody comes in and they just type detail.php and they don't click into it, they just type that into the browser, this will still render a page with the oldest record that you've got, record number 1. Else FID equals preg replace, and we've seen that before. A to Z, 0 to 9, we're getting rid of all that, and then that's on the get FID function. Actually, this shouldn't even have the A to Z in it. It doesn't matter though, I've just left it in there. We just need to have something to prevent SQL injection. So this kind of cleans that up. Now let's go on down the line. The SQL command, which is your query, is select all from feeds where ID equals FID. So in other words, if somebody comes in there and they go, I want story number 350, they click on that. At the end of the parameter right here, you'll see this FID equals 398. This is the number that's going to be queried in this part of our database right here in this query. So then we do a row count num rows. Not quite sure why we're doing that on that, but it's there, so it's not hurting anything. Let it count. Result equals, we're just initializing the variable result here, and then while row MySQLi fetch array equals this query, then ID equals row, blah blah blah, description, blah, link, blah, and we're just putting variables to these rows in the database. So now I have a bunch of kind of unnecessary stuff down here. I do have a format string replace of the apostrophe, and we're just replacing that with nothing. Format string replace of blank, and we're changing that to a plus. And don't know exactly why I'm doing that once again. Oh yeah, I'm doing that for the Google link. Although there's not even a Google link on this page, so it's kind of really where I used code from another page onto this page, I think. But there is a Google link on here, so we're gonna have to leave that in. And then we've got result equals, and then this is where we construct our story right here. We have link, let's see, href equals string link, which is this right here, the link to the story. So this links out to your outside story, and I've got a target equals blank so that your window stays open underneath and it opens the story in a new window. And then I've got the title and a headline too, and then in a, or is that a H2 or H3? Okay, the whole thing's wrapped in an H3, it looks like. And then I got H2. Oh, the title in H2. Okay, I don't know. That kind of looks like bad coding to me. I'll leave that up to you to figure it out. It works on mine, so I might straighten that up later, but it's not going to be a part of this tutorial. Anyway, the news link for here is the link to headlines, feeds, ID. So yeah, that will take them if they want to go to the feed itself, and that's essentially saying you know, the feed name, that it's from this feed or whatever. And then if they want to link that, then they can go and see that feed live. Author, that's pretty self-explanatory. Publication date, self-explanatory. Then we do a break, and then underneath that we do a description. So let's take a quick peek at that page. And here's that big headline that I've got, and then here's where it tells you what feed it came from, and they can click on that. And let's go ahead and do that real quick. And then that takes them to this particular feed, and yeah, any of these links on these feeds will take them to the actual article itself. So we'll back up, and of course that's the feed, and here's the description that we dealt with below that. And then I'll get to these a little further down the line here. So back to the script. Now I've done a lot of something in here. Try and figure out what a lot of these are. Replaces. Okay, this is for your meta tags that appear at the top of the HTML page, because your meta tags are going to change, and your meta tags are essentially going to create tags from the story. So your title, your keywords, things of that nature, all of these, just clean those up, and that comes all the way down the line. String replaces, like I'm replacing comma of, or I'm replacing of, because getting rid of, getting rid of is, getting rid of in, by, at, they, the, because these aren't really valid keywords. So although I've got my keywords being generated dynamically, we don't want things like a, of, but, and as keywords. They're just not keywords. So let's get on down to the next thing here. Now we've got, let's see, get the second row headlines. So this query right here is going to select everything from feeds, where feeds ID equals feeds ID, order by log time, limit descending, 0 and 15. The 0 will show the first story, 15, that's only going to show 15 stories. And we're ordering it by log time descending, so that these are the 15 latest stories. So let me look at that page here, because it seems to me like that should be a 1. Yeah, this right here, we don't need that, so we're going to change this to 1, and you can see how that's affected. Where I have limit 0, you put limit 1, and then that's not going to, you know that I explained before, everything starts with a 0 in PHP. It doesn't start with 1. So by going to number 1 here, that's going to go to the second story. Now if I took this number and made it any other number, like say if I made it 9 or 10, you would go down the line 10 or 11 stories essentially. So this is how you pick after the first record. Now if you'll look here, you're going to see this USAF Johns Hopkins should disappear from here but still remain up here. So let's refresh it and see what happens. Yeah, that's gone, and then it just moves on to the next story. So we're not redundant there. I fixed that and go back to the script, and then this is just essentially doing a query on the number of rows, and then on our while loop we're setting our fields from our database into variables that we can use down below. And then down here I have a news link, and the news link is ahref headlines PHP FID equals feed ID 1 feeds name blah, and result 1 is this equals append div h3 href title, etc., etc. So I can just use this and it'll echo out a link, and I can just use this and it'll echo out a link. So that's it for our PHP portion of this script. So we go down the line here, and it's pretty straightforward as far as that goes. You have title, and that's going to be the title of your website to begin with, and then you've got echo title. This is the title of the story that they're going to in the detail page. This is where I showed you all of the meta keywords and stuff like that. So anyway, description is going to be description meta, which string description meta is made up here. All of these are building the meta tags that we're going to use. So anyway, that's the tags. Here's some tags that keywords that I put in there that just don't belong. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out, and your meta keywords are just going to come from this echo of the meta keywords above. So anyway, enough on the tags. Let's move on down into the body here. And for the body, let's see. At the very beginning, I've got a Facebook script that tells you to put this part of the script in the head tag. So I put that in the head tag. So you can see I've got a beginning Facebook and an end Facebook. So if you're going to put Facebook in there, that's where you would put it. When I make your copy of this, I'm going to take all of this code out so you're not using my code. Probably take the Facebook code out as well, or the Twitter code. So anyway, we've got our include header. We've seen that on the other two documents that we've got. Now for this, we've got database details, echo title. So the title is grabbed from up above here, row title. So we've got that, and that's also going to be echoed somewhere else into the that's going to be put into the meta tags. So I've got here where it says health ad, end health ad. That's just for an ad. The health ad was a health ad that I had. You can put any ad. You can change this to read whatever you want to. But this is where an ad would go if you were going to put it. Now, then we go down the line. We have a break tag here, and then underneath that it says click the headline below to read the whole story on the feed's website. That's just giving them instructions. If they want to click that, then they can go to read the feed on the actual newspaper or wherever you got it from. Here's another Facebook right here, and then we end the Facebook, and then here's my Twitter, and somewhere down below the Twitter ends down here. I didn't have a tag on that, so let me go ahead and drop one of those in. I'll do a control copy, drop that, control V, and I'll just put an end tag on there. So you'll know about that. And also I'll know where to take this out before I give this to you. And then it just goes, I have a disclaimer here, which is kind of important. You don't own these feeds that you're getting, and you might run across a publication that gets a little pissed off about you using their feed and running your ads around it and things of that nature. So if you get a request that says, you know, you're using our feed and you're screwing stuff up and we don't want you to do it, then you just get out of it. But anyway, you can read what this says. It just basically says this is all publicly available information through RSS feeds. Wings Today does not own these feeds, makes no ownership or affiliation claims. Using this service is just like using a search engine. The difference is that this site only indexes news. Okay, and then down below that you have more from these, and then we name the feed such and such feed, more from the such and such feed. And then we echo out the result for that, and that's going to show all of our other associated results from that feed. So then we come down here and it's just the standard end of column 1, begin of column 2, then you have your left column here, your right column here, and your footer here. So that is that page there. And that covers everything. So if you've kept the conventions the way I've spoke of them and everything, you should be able to put your site together pretty nicely. Check it out, test it, make sure that you can click and get to stories, make sure that you can put a search term in there and you get a result. Now with a union select, I think you have to have more than 4 characters. It's either more than 3 or more than 4 characters in order to make a search. So if you put in like a 2 or 3 character string in that search box, it's not going to work. So make sure you're using like at least a full 4 or 5 letters, you know, so don't search and expect you're going to get a result. You're probably not. I think it's 4 or more that you have to have. So anyway, I'll go ahead and clean out all of this Facebook and Twitter stuff, and you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down slowly. You can see where this stuff is, and if you want to link your Facebook and your Twitter, and we are going to link Twitters on this, so be sure that you have a Twitter account for the next step. If you don't have a Twitter account, then you need to make one for your website, because we're going to be tweeting these out. And I'm going to get into moving this up to a database or up to a publicly accessible server now, because it's on my XAMPP. But if you already have yours on a server and you're working with a server, you can safely skip the next one. Otherwise, please comment, rate, subscribe, share, and we will see you in the next video.